Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Samuel Cook, and this is Speech 1. When I was in high school, I believed that all individuals in the scientific community would pursue truth above all else, and would work together to achieve a better understanding of that truth. I was prepared and excited to have engaging conversation about esoteric and theoretical topics. I expected eager collaboration between scholars, and did not expect the infighting. I first realized that my idealistic vision was not correct when I began studying anthropology. I studied the differences in many beliefs and practices, and their similarities. What I have concluded is that we have very different ways of being the same. Now, tell that to a faculty of scientists. The issue, you see, is that academia is a reputation game. You become more favorable as a researcher when your work contributes to the current paradigm. It is an understandable model, and it is quite useful for maintaining a general consensus throughout the scientific body. However, it can easily limit itself when peer review and evidence consideration are not done with the intention of honestly answering questions, but instead to preserve the status quo. This sort of analytical thinking is not in fact scientific. It has been called scientism. The idea is that instead of being a healthy and constantly developing body of scientific knowledge, it becomes a stagnant and overly conservative scientific body to the point where it begins to silence its own members. Scientism is when we no longer question what we know and instead proclaim that what we do know is all there is. If you are shocked that this sort of behavior could exist within our own scientific establishment, then you'd have some sort of insight into how I felt upon learning of intentional negligence to review and disseminate information to the public by archaeological establishments worldwide. Specifically, the Egyptian Institute for Archaeology. Zahi Hawass, head of the institute, was my inspiration to become an archaeologist. When I was young, he did multiple documentary series on the pyramids and other Egyptian artifacts. Now, new evidence of erosion around the Great Sphinx and around the Giza complex point to the pyramid and the Sphinx to be at least 8,000 years old. That's 3,000 years older than the accepted date for the Great Pyramid. Egypt has refused to acknowledge the data. Zahi Hawass has denied that the evidence is reliable. However, the evidence is mounting in his disfavor. The Giza pyramids are built with uncanny precision. The Great Pyramid is aligned to 0.01 degrees of true north, and the entire pyramid ensemble mirrors the belt of the constellation of Orion. In order to build this, one would need an understanding of the stars, the directions of Earth, and advanced measuring capabilities and technologies. New evidence even suggests that pyramids are actually natural power generators that can channel electromagnetic energy out of the Earth and beam it into the ionosphere, much like a Tesla coil. We are reaching breakthroughs in most every area of scientific enterprise. We have already had 2 cures for cancer and multiple free energy devices built that were destroyed due to commercial interest. We are mired in the darkness of our own greed and aggression. Free inquiry is squashed by the need to sell more knickknacks, even if we could make enough for everyone. The few in control don't want a different model, but that's to be expected. What we need to do in response is take back our creative enterprise and not be afraid to confront issues in our lives with a creative acceptance. The issue, I find, is spiritual, in the sense that it is how we have related and listened to each other up to now that has led to the gatekeeping and to the large-scale consumer model. We need to learn how to ask questions honestly and honestly receive the answer, and then humbly abide by the solution. In truth, this is nothing more than the scientific method. continuous learning paradigm. Thank you.